What's up everybody, Original Dobo, and I'm just now getting back from IWCE 2018. That's where I went and saw the Autel Evo drone and got a little bit of hands-on time with it. Also, Autel gave me a bunch of these keychains. I've got like 15 of these to give out. So if you're interested in one of these, just go ahead and comment down below and the first 15 will get one. So Autel Evo, hands-on, your questions answered, stay tuned. What is up everybody? I'm Original Dobo. Welcome back to Phones, Drones, and Tech. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button at the end of this video. I got a chance to talk to Tim and Andrew from Autel Robotics, and they were nice enough to field all of my questions about the drone. I asked about release dates, specs, 1-inch sensor, you name it, we talked about it, and I'm gonna try to do this all in under 10 minutes, so bear with me. First thing we talked about was the release date, because obviously that's the most glaring thing that's out there. Release date is very soon. I know that's not the answer anybody wants to hear, but it's very soon. They are still finalizing some things on the software side that need to be done and taken care of before they can go live with it. This drone that we are seeing today is totally different than the one that was debuted at CES. It has a larger wingspan because the arms are a little bit longer and the props are way larger than what was demoed at CES. The camera is rocking a Sony XMR sensor, and it's 12 megapixel sensor. It is a compact sensor. It is not a 1-inch sensor. I did ask Andrew about that, and he basically said that they are looking at doing a prototype on a 1-inch sensor, but it's not going to be the one that's shipping. Autel did say that if they do decide to go that route and do a 1-inch sensor, that they will communicate with their fans and customers well before they try to do a launch of that. So the camera gimbal is totally different as well. It's a lot more robust. It is a nice looking gimbal, especially on such a small drone. I think, and I hate to compare the Mavic to this again, but they are very similar. The Mavic gimbal on the Mavic Pro just seems very fragile, as to where this gimbal is very robust and solid. Obviously, if you crash into something with this or wreck the drone, that's not going to salvage the gimbal, but it is a much nicer gimbal than what you'll find on the Mavic. Camera's shooting 4K, 60 frames per second. You have the ability to shoot in log, which is great. It is a 2.8 fixed aperture, so there is no adjustable aperture on that. It's fixed at 2.8. So that's something you're going to want to keep in mind. Otherwise, everything else looks really nice on this. It does have tracking. It does have different flight modes that are available. They weren't able to demo all the flight modes for me, just simply because some of the things aren't ready to go in the software and they don't want somebody using it if it's not ready to go. The image processing comes in, there's 2 cameras up in the front for image processing, there's 2 downward facing cameras, and then there's IR sensors in the rear. So the tracking, the motion sensing isn't going to be as good in the rear, but it will be better in the dark. We talked a lot about the active track that they have, or their rendition of it, and they compared the algorithms to that of the competitors, and they found that they are right on par with the competitors. They also have predictive tracking, which means that they can sense an object and the object changes course. They can predict actually where it went and at what speed the object is moving at, which is cool because that means you're not going to have to worry about losing yourself in focus. They also introduced a new VR mode. Inside the application, there is the ability to pair it with goggles now. And if you look up or down or right or left, the drone actually tracks and follows wherever your eyes move, which is neat. And it almost looks like a fighter jet. It's got this crazy like level and eye balance in there. It's cool. It's going to be interesting to see how that actually looks in real time. The overall build quality of the drone itself is stellar. It is a really solid drone. One of the things that I like, and I know this is silly, but the legs in the rear just pull straight out. Doesn't that make sense for them to pull out? They don't fold out like this or anything. They just pull straight out, which is great. Doesn't mean you're going to snap them or anything. They just pull out. They feel great. There's no creaking or popping. The drone feels somewhat heavy, but just solid. That is the best way to describe it. The bottom is really cool where the cooling pad is. The drone is also going to come with a carrying case, a travel case. It's a little bit different than last time. Last time it was like a styrofoam covered style carrying case. It is pretty nice. It's not a final design what we're seeing. The final design will accommodate additional batteries, but basically they are saying that this is going to be ready to fly, meaning that you are going to get SD card, controller, drone, and battery and charger all in one, ready to go. Speaking of the SD card, it is going to be a UHS 3, so it's going to be able to handle the fastest read and write speeds of the Autel Robotics Evo. As far as batteries go, I did ask about pricing, and they said that we can expect about the same pricing that we had last time, right around $99. The battery is a little bit different. It is a 3-cell battery, and that's good for 30 minutes of flight time, which is pretty nice for a drone this size. Speaking of a drone this size, flight speed, 45 miles an hour in GPS mode. That is not even talking about the sport mode, 45 miles an hour. So this thing's gonna be able to cook when you need it to. When it was flying around, I noticed that this drone was incredibly quiet, like really, really quiet, like very inconspicuous. It's just crazy because we were having a full-on conversation and it just didn't even seem to bother me that the drone was there. Like, you didn't feel like you had to yell or raise your voice to talk over somebody. All in all, this is basically the drone I am waiting for. I mean, we're getting to a point where how much more can we really expect from our drones, unless if we get to the point where it's like the Skydio R1, where this thing is just flying, doing crazy things, and you don't even need a controller. But we're not there yet. Not for $999, which is what they're selling this drone for. So overall, if you want to wait for a drone like this, you can wait for this drone. If you are a DJI fan, get yourself a DJI. But this is what I am waiting for. I did ask them about, do they consider DJI to be a competitor? And they do, but they don't. It's sort of like they have their own specific business model. And their business model is they want to be able to bring the very best product. See, that's the key word, product. Not products, but product to their customers. Not only do they want to bring the best product, but they want to be able to provide the best support. So they do have US-based support that is home right here. They don't want to release something and then have you wait for a software update to fix something you just paid for. They're basically saying, we don't want to try to sell a half-baked product. We want to make sure it's right. And if it takes them longer to do that, that's fine. They're not in any rush and they're not afraid whether or not somebody is going to buy a different drone. And I think that's pretty admirable. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. It lets me know you want to see more content like this. And if you're feeling awesome, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And I'm hoping that eventually I'll get a review unit of this Evo when it does launch, and I'll be able to do a full review for you and give you my thoughts and comparisons. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. I will see you in the next one.